Right then guys, it's time for round 8 of the Unofficial League Season 16 here in Australia, Melbourne. I'm James69 once again back at commentating for Podium tier, and with me alongside is the commentator you all used to know, cat named Minty. Welcome.
Hello there, everyone.
Yes, and as I said at the beginning, we are here in Melbourne for round 8 of the championship, and the championship is getting closer and closer, but we will talk about it at any given minute during qualifying and also potentially during the race when we do the live updates, potentially. Well, first of all, to start things off, we are talking about the track history, and we are here in Melbourne on a track which appeared on the calendar in a real F1 world first in 1996, replacing Adelaide, but not as a season finale but as a season opener this time, because back then Adelaide was the season finale of the F1 season. Now, since Melbourne, it's largely the season opener, except from 2006 and 2010. Also, 2011 should have been also the case, but because of some political stuff, it was Melbourne who hosted the season opener. Melbourne has got 16 turns, it is 5.303 kilometers long and 3.295 miles, and the lap record goes to Michael Schumacher in 2004 with a 1 minute 24.125. We've got 3 different tyre compounds, the C4, the C3 and the C2, also the intermediate full wet tire, but because we are having here a mandatory 2-stop rule, we are largely going to see the C4 and C3. I think the C2 is even forbidden. Excuse my lack of knowledge here. Need to get back into the rhythm of one hub. But Minty, what do you think about the strategies of the drivers for this race?
It's going to be really interesting. I'm guessing it's going to be a soft, medium, but if there's going to be like lap 1 damage, I wouldn't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 people go onto the hard come off tires, try to go like right to the end, maybe like lap 20, go on the softs again.
Yes, this is a good opportunity here to do a soft, medium, soft strategy. Would be quite interesting, but you have to be alert with the soft tire. The left side of the tire is going to be really hurt a lot, because you see it on the track map here, there are a lot of left-handers, especially in the final sector, which can really hurt your tire in there.
Yeah, it really can, and that will be a lot of the drivers will struggle with that one, in my opinion, which could make a soft medium viable, but it all depends on how well the driver manages their tires.
Definitely. So, now we come to the press conferences, and we start with the drivers' press conference, and we had Cam 153 in the press room, the winner of the past race in Canada, but we go into detail into the race results anytime soon. And his question was how he felt after his first win, and he said that he felt great, and he also mentioned that he had some chances to win his first race in one hub before, but he made some mistakes several times and the win slipped away. But here he also mentioned that weather and strategy fell into his way during the race, and of course some mistakes from the others. Now to the team press conferences, we had the Racing Point team with the question if the black Mercedes is better than the pink one, and they give a straight answer with no. And the team boss also mentioned that they need to do better in the future, less mistakes now for the two drivers, Cat Boyke and Pizza Parker, and he also mentioned that he's looking up for future links with other partners. What do you think about that, Minty?
Well, going back to Racing Point's boss first point, that Pizza Parker and Kabuki will have to step up their game, as Pizza Parker, I think he only got 1 point last weekend, I'm just gonna
Uh,
double check that. No, it
yeah.
was 5. 5 points, that's my mistake. But from a title contender, that was not a good result after a woeful strategy, not spitting in for wet tires, which really hurt him, and Catboy Key, he also didn't have a great race. He got 5th position at the end, which isn't enough for the Racing Point team.
Definitely. And now we come to the AlphaTauri team. And we all know the news that Honda will be leaving the sport after 2021. And this was also the question how AlphaTauri is going to cope with the loss. And they said that it will be a big blow for them, but they still thanked Honda for the time with them. And they also see themselves in a good place for future partners. And I think we can expect a big announcement anytime soon.
Yeah, that it will be very interesting to see who they go for. I doubt Mercedes or Ferrari will supply them engines.
I
Then
think,
Renault, go on.
yeah, I think,
Then,
yeah, sorry.
I'm my bad. I think Renault, they don't have a good relationship with them, but Renault, I think Formula One will demand Renault to give them engines if Red Bull or AlphaTauri can't find a deal. So that is my take on it. They might buy the Honda like engine factory, but I highly doubt that because of the costs.
Yeah, I mean, the costs in F1 are sky high, but there is also the thing with the cost cap, which could play a factor in their decision making. But I think until the final decision is made, we have to speculate. So now short qualifying is getting underway, and yeah, Minty, do you want to go for into the drivers' championship now?
Gladly. Scorpion Hun is leading the Drivers' Championship by 21 points. It's really close up the top, only one race win, separating Scorpion and Pizza Parker, who is in second position. He hasn't had the best couple of weeks now, with the 8th place in Canada, which really hurt him in the championship. Chris in 3rd position on 70 points, right behind him in the Ferrari carrying the team is CSGB Rainman. Then Leigh Hoffner in 5th, only 1 point behind him is Peter Parker's teammate Kat Boyke, who has gone up in the recent weeks. Zeppedoodle kind of fall from greatness. I I think that's the quote. I'm not too sure. But Zeppedoodle, he looked very strong in the opening round in one hub, but now he's down in 7th. Riley in 8th position in the Alfa Romeo. Cam K Mom, who won his first ever Grand Prix last weekend, he is in 9th position. Then SC Mats in the Red Bull is in 10th position. Vitinho, who has had a very disappointing campaign. I was predicting him to actually win the championship. It's not looking great for him. Only 26 points. Then Kong Hofner in the Haas team in 12th position. Rich 500, the other American on the grid, also in the Renault in 13th position. Tied on points with him is F1 Farf on 22 points, who made his debut this season in Monaco. Then Dex Dexter is in 15th, Ponage Town in 16th, and his teammate right behind him, TC13. Then OKK tied on points with TC, and Cashman and King J both on 0 points.
Yeah, I mean, the drivers' championship is looking pretty interesting indeed. We have some kind that's still left, but we can safely say maybe that Scorpion is looking to take the championship with 3 rounds to go in the championship.
Yeah, it's really looking like he's gonna seal the championship, but the Peter Parker is the only other championship contender realistically, and if Scorpion has some bad weekends, then we could potentially see Peter Parker up there.
Yeah, there's always an opportunity for that. I'm just going to mention the constructor standings shortly now, and we have Mercedes in the lead with 187 points, ahead of Racing Point. We have 104. Then Red Bull in P3 with 77 points, and then we have Haas in P4, and Ferrari directly behind in P5 with 69 and 68 points, so 1 point separates them. And they're also closely followed by Alfa Romeo and Renault in 6th and 7th with 63 and 62 points. So these two also quite close between each other. Then we have Williams in 8th with 32 points in their bank. AlphaTauri currently P9, and McLaren rounding up the Constructors' Championship.
The midfield, technically, in the constructor standings is really close together. As Red Bull, they are kind of fighting for rest of the best between them and all the way down to Renault, who are on 62 points, only 15 points behind Red Bull. So that third position would be huge for any of those teams.
Yes, and now I like to transform into the pre-race interviews given by the drivers. And I would like to start with Scorpion. The questions were, first of all, how do you rate the overtaking difficulty? And the second question was the struggle in fast chicanes. Third question was the if you were more comfortable ahead of the car or if you are the chasing car. Fourth question would be if he was happy for a dry race, and the fifth question, and the question who fits the most currently, if the qualifying is more important than the race. And there, Scorpion has said, yeah, maybe, he isn't sure about that, but yeah, so that's the thing. He isn't sure if qualifying is more important here in Melbourne, because as a little fact, it is in fact a street circuit, so this could play a major factor here. And I go through some more quotes related to qualifying. We have Rayman, who's also saying that qualifying matters a little bit because of the difficulty of overtaking. And there are also just quick mentions here. Rayman thinks that you could overtake in turn 3 and maybe in turn 13 as well. So yeah, we will go through the overtaking opportunities in the formation lab, I think, into more detail. But there are also some more drivers rating the track and the qualifying difficulty, importance, sorry. We have Cam, the winner of the last race, who also said that overtaking is kind of difficult. He rated it with a 5 out of 10. And he also said that qualifying might be important. And yeah, who else? Yeah, we had OKK left, and he rated the overtaking chances not too bad, especially in the DRS zones, which we have here. Here's the newest DRS zone, introduced in 2018, and has been a part of Melbourne since. And he also said that qualifying might be more important than the race itself. What do you actually think about that, Minty?
Well, I don't believe that's the case with the two-stop strategy. A lot of things can mix up. A lot of people on varying strategies and the overtaking zones. I think it's, from personal experience, I have a feeling it's quite easy to overtake here. With the 3 DRS zones now, through the start-finish straight, then going into turn 3, and then at the exit of the fast left-right chicane.
Yeah, I also believe that there are some more overtaking opportunities here than the drivers might think. especially now the first part of the circuit, if you have the balls in, then you might be prepared for some crazy maneuvers. I'm speaking from personal experience here, by the way. And, Minty, do you have some more quotes from drivers from the pre-race interview? Can just quickly mention?
Well, I saw OKK saying that he wants dry, 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 as quoted by him. He doesn't want wet weather at all, and he wants the race to be as dry as possible.
Yeah, I think that's the... Oh, sorry if I cut you out there.
Which, as a viewer, isn't the best, but I mean, as a driver, you're probably praying for that every single week.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a dry race is a lot more chilled, and this is also something the drivers in the pre-race interview have hoped for, and especially here as a quick example, Scorpion. But there's a little bit of an exception here with Rain Man, who said he would be happy with dry, but he's also prepared for the wet, as he has a solid wet setup prepared in his setup screen, so if he needs it, he will use it.
I'm not surprised that he has one according to his name, Rain Man. So he has to live up to that expectation.
Yeah. So, I think we do a tiny recap of the Canadian Grand Prix in terms of the post-race interviews. And yeah, just some little questions here. The first one would be the biggest surprise. The second one would have been the Wall of Champions and how difficult it was. Third one would have been the favorite sector. The fourth one would have been the weather, if it was a big challenge to mount. And the fifth one would have been the slipstream qualifying, if the drivers have received some slipstream. And in regards to the first question, yeah, we had two drivers here as an example. Scorpion, for example, who wasn't really happy with the driving standards of the past race. So, Mitty, I don't know if you can confirm that, because I sadly haven't got the opportunity to watch this race. So, you would need to help me out there.
Well, I don't think it was more of the driving from the drivers, which sounds kind of dumb, but the weather. Because of the mixed conditions, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of drivers had dry setups and maybe weren't expecting the rain. It's very hard to transition from dry to wet, especially with the traction control. Because if you're used to the dry track, if you step on the gas too early in the wet, then it's all over, you're just out of control. So I think that was the case for a lot of drivers last weekend, and hopefully we don't see that this week.
Well, I mean, we all want a nice, clean and fair race. We had this at the Red Bull Ring, where it was a full wet race, so, and there I personally thought it was quite clean, so I think the rain shouldn't have been an excuse for that. But anyway, let's move on. And yeah, I think I'm quite surprised in the difference of the different sectors, of the favorite sectors I mean. Scorpion said the first sector was the best one for him, and Cam thought that every sector was the best. So we saw some surprises here, but one thing all the drivers agreed with was the weather, that it surprised them a bit and made it a little bit of a challenge there in terms of strategies and so on. And I think that's actually the case in every single dry to wet race.
Yeah, it really is, and we can see evidence of that from the podium. So it was Cam K, Mum, Riley and ST Mats on the podium, which is very crazy for podium tier standards, as we usually just see Pizza Parker, Chris and Scorpion Hon up there.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly different, and it certainly shows what a wet session can do for the drivers. And I think now we can actually skip to the qualifying now, which has been running for the past seconds and minutes. And by having a look into the tasks, we can see that Peter Parker, who leads currently the qualifying with a 1 minute 19.5, was actually quickest in the third sector by 2/10 in comparison to Chris, and by literally 4/10 of a second out of Scorpion. But Scorpion had the fastest second sector, and Chris had the fastest first sector. But there was actually a bit closer to Peter Parker.
Yeah, it's a really crazy scenario as each driver is looking like they have their strengths and weaknesses, and then F1 Farf, he's not really close to any of them. He is of course in 4th position, but in the sector timings he's not looking great compared to the top 3, which kinda are very mixed when it comes to the sectors. One of them is fastest in one, the other is fastest in the other sector, and the last one is fastest in sector 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually one of the most interesting things here in qualifying, to see the differences in the sectors. We are currently on board with Zeeper. Let's see if the test is currently catching up with him. I don't think so, so we will have to wait. Oh, there it is. Was a 26.4 in the first sector, which puts him 1/10 behind the fastest guys.
And
so
1/10 ahead of Scorpion.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, it is. It is. The sector 21.6, they lost a bit more time. So he might need to fight against Farf for 4th, actually, or maybe for 5th or 6th. Look how close it is.
It really is, as I call it, best of the rest outside of the podium positions, as it is dominated by Peter Parker and the 2 Mercedes, but now Zeppa coming up to the line. What will it be? 1 minute 20.2 puts him in 4th position, best of the rest.
Wow, that's actually decent, but if he wants to do another lap, he needs to be quick into the pits. So I think he will push all the way to the pit lane, but I think there will be not enough time left for him, unfortunately.
Well, he's doing everything he can, as it is his home Grand Prix, so a podium would be great for him.
Yeah. So which driver should we have a closer look? Maybe Vitinho, because he's on the lap. I think Hoffner is also on the lap. Let's have a look into him, because he's a championship contender, theoretically.
Mathematically.
Yeah, that's what I said, theoretically, because he is a long way behind. But I mean, he's still a contender, so even if you are so far behind, it's impossible. He's still there, and as I'd like to say now, everything can happen in racing, even though it is in a video game. So yeah, that should be a prime rule for the drivers, to be alert and to just get the points home for the championship.
Yeah, now looking at his tasks, timings right now, it's not looking the best for him. While coming up to a line, it's only an improvement by 0.044 seconds as he spins out.
Oh, that's not good.
After going in too hot into a corner. I'm surprised he did that on his in-lap, but that is him in 7th position currently.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, in this first corner section, the first 2 corners, it is actually easy to spin out because of the amount of the shape of the curbs. That's what I wanted to say. The shape of the curbs could be important. Kong Hoffner has retired.
I wonder what happened there. I think he might have lost traction out of that corner.
Yeah, let's have a look into
Vitinho.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oof.
That's unlucky from him, getting a little bit too happy with the throttle and just spinning into the wall. As this is a street circuit, the walls tend to be really close to the track.
Yes. And now it's time for the final showdown between the top 3 drivers for pole position. Or will there be another surprise? But let's have a look.
That is Pizza Parker. Yeah. That was my bad.
Yeah, no problem. So we come into the third corner. No lockup there, it seems. Fairly decent. There's yellow flag because of the Ferrari parking there. Oh, not the Ferrari, it's Alfa Romeo. I'm sorry there, I'm turning into David Croft there for a moment. That's not what I wanted to do. Anyway, first sector is looking good at 26-1.
That is a blistering lap from him. Sector.
Good sector there by...
faster than Scorpion. Now Scorpion coming along, 26.3. Chris, 26.4.
Oh, they're not improving, that's not good. Scorpion might be the only one of the Mercedes improving. Oh, there's someone off, that's Rich. Second sector wasn't better for Peter Parker, but wasn't as bad as his first lap. So it shouldn't be a big time loss compared to this.
Chris and Scorpion going identical in sector 2.
Yeah.
But now coming up to the line, Pizza Parker. Will it be pole position?
That's
yes, it is for now up in 19.3. Chris has invalidated his lap time and Scorpion. You'll be the only man who can beat Pizza Parker. Unless there's a miracle down below.
Yeah, but he has lost too much time. Yeah, but it's P2.
Yeah, he goes ahead of his teammate, but it's only good enough for P2. But as we know, the race isn't won on a Saturday, or in this case, before the Grand Prix.
Yeah. So, some surprising candidates for myself, TC in P4.
That is an amazing lap time from him, especially seeing McLaren are last in the constructors and he is in 17th with only 2 points. This could all change this race.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wish him good luck because of the commentator's curse.
Absolutely.
No
one for a lap.
No, nobody is, so if you can run us through the grid for tonight's race.
Yeah, so we go through the starting grid here for the race. There are no penalties, so this will be the final order. And we have Peter Park on pole, I have Scorpion and Chris in third place. Out of a surprisingly strong TC in fourth. Out of Matt in fifth, Zeepa P6. Vitinho once again, decent pace from him, P7, Favre in P8, then Le Hoffner in P9, Riley P10, and with Rainman in 11th position, right ahead of Kong Hoffner, who had the accident before, Kat Boyke P13. That's not a good qualifying for the second racing point, that's not what they wanted. Dexter in 14th, K-Man in 15th place there. That's Cam in 16th. We'll wait until I can finally see the results again. Or I can just do it with Taz. And we see OKK in 17th place. I have Rich and King J rounding up the grid.
Now, shame we only have one driver missing. That would have been amazing, a full grid.
Absolutely.
But kind of disappointing from Boyke in my opinion. Outside the top 10 he will be able to start on whatever tyre he wants to, but it's still 13th place compared to his teammate who is on pole position.
Yeah, that's definitely a shocking result for him. And this might play a factor in terms of contract negotiations with Racing Point. Because as we mentioned at the beginning, this could be a decisive factor for them.
Yeah, it really is. As Peter Berger, he has been amazing this whole season. Well, some ups and downs for him. Well, Cowboy Key, he did show a little bit of really good pace, a little bit of a Valtteri Bottas, but in other races he's just been shocking.
Yeah, that's not optimal, of course. Now to some sponsor mentioning now, and we start with Next Level Racing, who will sponsor the Going Gets Tough Awards. And just as a little explanation again, even though some of the people might know this already, but we just do this again. The Going Gets Tough Awards will be rewarded to the driver who finishes the season outside the top 3, completes all interviews, and attends all races. A chosen winner will be sponsored with either a seat or maybe some other stuff. So go check them out for some nice seats and some other cool stuff. Now, do you want to go on with our second sponsor?
Our second sponsor is Liam13. He is providing a lot of our trophies and just the rewards in general. So do check him out on Twitch as he streams there quite a lot. He streams both F1 and FIFA. So if you're interested in one or the other, go check him out. He's doing an amazing job there.
Yes, indeed. And now it's time for the Formation Lab. And we are already preparing ourselves for an exciting race here in Australia. Sunny conditions, so no rain currently, but this is all subject to change, of course.
And as I said at the end of qualifying, Kapoiki is a mediums, just like Catchman and King J.
Yes, we will have a look into it here. I mean, to be fair, these drivers do need to risk something. I mean, they're currently at the back, and they might have the chance to climb up the ladder with the alternative strategy here.
It really depends if they execute it well. But if it works out, then hey, fair play.
Yes,
well
indeed.
done to you.
And this will be a decisive factor. You've just seen some predicted strategies, but you can already cross out the one-stop strategy. And I'll just start the task again. This is a useful tool for us commentators here. And yeah, now the Formation Lab is about to end.
As I was about to say, the predicted strategy as it showed up on my screen, it's going to be soft on lap 11 and then going on to mediums on lap 18, I think that was. Or the other way around, softs on lap 8 and then mediums on lap 18. But that is what we're predicting, definitely in the commentary box, and that is what the game is predicting.
And there are some decisive differences here. And to be fair, the game could be glitched in that kind of sense, so we will need to make our own picture into this. Also, grid is setting up here, and we are waiting for the lights. Down the lights. The lights go on, and the Australian Grand Prix here, round 8 of the championship, is on the way here. And it's lights out and away we go. And we need to wait to see who has the best start. Looks like Chris has got the best start.
So
yeah?
Awful start from the racing point. He's trying to gain back positions, but he loses traction at the exit of turn 3.
Sorry to just cut you out there. There was a into the back. There's another one. There's a Ferrari spinning. That's King J actually. And he will drop to the back of the field.
Awful start from the Ferraris. P18 and P19 not looking good for them.
Oh, look at that! That's Pizza Parker off!
Oh, Pizza Parker!
Oh dear! Everything has gone wrong for the man in pole position. Everything has gone right.
The pressure is getting to him.
Yeah.
Fighting for a championship here.
And look who's in the lead. It's Scorpion. Back in the lead. Out of Chris and TC. P3. Whilst we see Williams attacking a Red Bull. That's Matt Stroud outside defending against Vitinho. Looking
As no
far.
Farf goes around the outside. Riley
Whoa.
tries to.
Oh,
Riley
look at
dive
that.
bombs
No.
in. Oh!
There's a throwing off of the Haas of Kong Hoffner, I
And that's
believe, yes.
Kong Hoffner.
Oh no! Everything has gone wrong now. And
Now, Pizza are trying to make a comeback. He's going round the outside of Vitinho where he got soft. And that's Cowboy Key going side by side with him. I think that's him down another position. No, it isn't. Cowboy Key doesn't overtake him. Maybe a little bit of...
we see Dexter fighting against Cam. It looks like Cam has gotten a front wing damage in front left. So the winner of last week's race here, yeah, he's having a total time currently. So I would say back to reality now, but I think now we all know what Cam is capable of, but it just seems like it isn't a perfect race for him.
Yeah, it really isn't, as now DRS has been enabled, which will give Pizza Parker hope to try to get back in the race.
Yeah.
As Leigh Hoffner overtakes Rich 500. So bad news for the Renault drivers who are going down and down. Cam K was in the pits.
Yes. So, I mean, this could play a big factor now. I think I haven't mentioned, or we haven't mentioned in the stream, penalties again. There are some nice places here.